So, we got our work cut out for us on this one for sure. Yeah. I mean, literal just spider webs everywhere. Clean up. We're gonna get all this carpet out, get the seats out. That's like fog machine stuff. All right, I'm feeling pretty energized. Just did a quick drive in that thing. It drives, it's still smoking, I'll address that, but I wanna get that interior out of my way. It's taken up half of my garage, so in order to do that, I need to clean up some bolts. These are seat bolts, and they're a little crusty. And then there's some kind of bracket that holds the console. So I'm gonna put those in the blaster. We're gonna get those cleaned up. I'm just gonna shoot them with some color coat, and then we'll be ready tomorrow to go ahead and get the carpet and the seats back in. And the rest of the interior, then I can start addressing whatever's going on with the smoking. We might have to call this smoky instead of moldy. It's pretty comical, but I'm excited that it moves under its own power. That's a huge step, because when we got it, if you recall, it was on a rollback. It would not turn over. And so clearly the motor runs, but we're gonna have to figure out why that is smoking. We knew that going in. The guy told us that up front. So that's on us to figure out. Carpet's in. I'm gonna do one more vacuum before we're ready to install the rest of the interior, but we're getting pretty close. Still need to locate a package tray and a trunk floor. The trunk floor I have is damaged and the package tray is missing, no big deal. And we're getting there. So I'm excited with the progress on the interior so far. So our rear seat is all in, the carpet is all in. I think I'm going to do the console next and get that buttoned up. And I have all the trunk stuff in here. I don't have, there's a styrofoam piece that goes here and then one underneath that holds the jack. I need to see if I can source that, and then that flat piece that's there, I have it, but it's kind of warped. So somebody put the spare tire on top of it instead of underneath, and so we're gonna need to source one of those, but it's looking great. Like, it looks absolutely mint. And so I think I'm gonna go ahead and hit that console next. Okay, this goes pretty much just like this. And then I want that to slide in like that. I'm gonna go ahead and screw the knob on first, make sure we can get into reverse and all that. Okay, let's see if stuff works. We've got a couple lights. The airbag is because I've got the seats disconnected. We'll reset that. The rest of it should be okay. My table of parts has dwindled. They are in here. Have a console lid on order, ignore that, but everything else is looking great. Everything works like it's supposed to. You can touch things without feeling icky. So I'm really excited. Still have a little cleanup to do. I'm gonna do another final wipe down and all that, but about ready to put the seats in, and I think that's the last thing in here. I've got a set of mats that came out of Miranda's car. We're gonna throw those in. I'm not even gonna try and clean the other ones because they're so nasty. And then it's time to start on the paint. I did locate another turbo, and so as soon as I get my hands on that, we're just gonna throw a turbo on this. I believe that the turbo seals are bad and it's leaking coolant into the exhaust and burning it out. That's why it's so potent. We'll see. If not, then we'll throw a motor in it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those seats in that car. Let's do it. Okay, I brought in some reinforcements. I'm tired of being out here by myself. So let's see how that goes. Gonna go ahead and throw these seats. I think I'm gonna take a stab at fixing this. Well, I guess it's a cigarette burn, I don't know. We're gonna take a low buck approach at that real quick. Baylor, you're in the way, buddy. So you're silly. Ah, good job, Heidi. You're not silly. Come on, buddy. Come on. There you go. So here is the passenger seat, and I think that's a cigarette burn. I don't know. I don't smoke, so. But anyway, we're gonna try and fix that today using kind of an old school trick that I saw. You can buy the seat cover for this, but it's $300, I don't know. And we're not doing that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually take some material from the carpet, and we're gonna glue that inside of there. And what it's gonna do is just basically kind of make this all one color. It's kind of an old school trick, but let's see how well it works. I'm curious to see. Off because I don't want to accidentally drip any glue or anything on it that I would do. I'm going to see if I can get my I think I mentioned I've got some pieces of carpet fiber. We're basically going to shove that in here as far in as we can get it. That's what she said. So now we're going to add a little glue. And then we're going to add some more fibers. And the way this looks like it's going to work out is pretty nice. It won't be perfect, but it's always good when Baylor's running around. What are you doing back there, Hey, Baylor! 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 Come away from the caddy, bro! Dog's gonna be the death of me. Alright, we're gonna let that dry, and then we'll kind of rough it up a little bit and see how that looks. So one of the parts that really is going to tie up the interior on this car has just arrived. Let's take a look. You probably know what this is because I've complained about this part, but let's get it out of here and see what we got. Well, all right. Let's peel this off. Oh goodness. Hold please. Okay, got it now. That is a center armrest console thingy, and that is all that we should need to go ahead and swap out the one that's in the car, which, hold on, I'll show you. It looks terrible. I guess it's from where the arm rests. You can see it's just terrible. So we're gonna swap that out today. Right now for me it's Monday, and I just wanted to mention that I don't know if you can see, but it is snowing. So thank you to my daughter who's already decorated for Christmas earlier than November the 10th. That one's on you. As promised, I'm crammed in the Focus working on this console lid. So it's pretty easy to swap. You can see there are two little flaps here, and you need to just pop those up. There's a T20 under each of those. Once you do that, this back panel pops right off. If you try and take it off without, you're gonna have a bad time. So once you do that, there is a pin on either side. Take a little, I took a Phillips and kind of tapped it out. Now I'm gonna just grab it with my pliers, pull it out. This lid will come out, and then we can put the other one back in. There you go. So just pop that out, do the other side. There's a gear in there you need to be mindful of, but other than that, it should come right off. As in, gonna do the other side. Console lid's good as new. So there's what we started with. There's where we are now. This interior is looking fantastic. I've been working off camera a little bit. I've been working on getting the floor mats for this put in. Obviously you saw the new console lid, which looks fantastic. Dog hair. And I have just been kind of going around touching everything up. So we still have some stuff that I need to polish out. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and start on that. There's stuff like that. Not the worst thing. There's a few spots on the hood, but you can see the hood is just kind of, I don't know what the word is for it. It's a little weathered, I guess. You know, stuff's been wiped over it over the years, and we're gonna get all that out. It feels really nice and smooth to the touch. So I'm gonna go ahead and probably just do about half the hood. I wanna see how that's gonna turn out. These headlights will need to be restored. That'll be fun. I've got a kit to do that. And then I'm just gonna work my way around. I'm not gonna get to all of it today, which is not a big deal, but it's turning out really well. I mean, already you remember what it looked like. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the buffer out and kind of play with the hood and see what happens. My pad of choice for this at first is going to be these Grants from Harbor Freight. These are heavy cut, medium finish. They're a microfiber pad, and I'm going to be using my M18. And then, where did I go with the, oh, here we go. I'm going to be using Meguiar's 205. I'm kind of combining the cutting with the polishing. I want to play around the way I like to do things is the least aggressive method that works possible. So we're going to see, will this work with microfiber pad and some polish? I don't know. Let's go look. Okay, so that's looking better. There are still some defects. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Meguiar's 110, which is a heavier cut. At least we're going to use that on the hood, and we'll see how that turns out. Here's what we got after microfiber and Meguiar's 110. Just, I don't know how many passes. One pass maybe, but look at the difference. So the whole car is going to end up pretty much like this without a huge amount of effort. And I haven't polished any of this. This is just compound. It's actually kind of a heavy cut, so it'll shine up real good. But yeah, look at that. All right, let's keep going. I finished about half of the compound stage yesterday on the car, so I need to still do the roof. I'm just going to kind of buzz my way around, and it's pretty much the same process. I just polish, and we're going to compound all the imperfections out that I want to get out. We're going for 85 to 90%. We're not going for a show car finish. The more clear coat I can leave on here, the better for the next owner. So just trying to get everything cleaned up to where it looks really nice and shiny. So I'm going to go ahead and compound, then we'll go back around with a foam pad and some polish and get it shined up really good. And then we'll move on to whatever else needs to be done on this car. Got half the roof polished. It's looking fantastic. You got to remember what this thing looked like. Again, this is just compound. So I still have to do the other side, but you can see how bad it was. So once we do the polish, it'll look great. I still need to do the hatch. I got a little bit of cleanup on the bumper, and then we're going to start on polishing. Compounding stage is finally done on the car. I cleaned off the compound as best I could. There's still some on it. It's 30 something degrees out, so I can't wash the car. We're going to go ahead and move on to the polishing stage. We're going to be using Meguiar's 205 or 210, whichever. Those work great. Yellow foam pad. That'll bring up the gloss on here, and I think it'll look fantastic. You can probably see under these detailing lights how clear that is. It'll clear up a little bit more once we hit it with the foam pad, but I'm really excited about how it's turning out. Headlights, I'm going to do those probably tomorrow, and that's kind of what we got right now. I went ahead and deleted the focus badge. Still got to get the piece for the rear. I touched up the rear bumper. It's looking pretty good. It needs one more coat of touch-up paint. But I'm really excited. Cleaning up black or dark paint is always very satisfying. Once we get the polish on here, it's going to look amazing. And I'm just going to get a coat of Meguiar's hybrid ceramic wax. I ordered this from Amazon. This stuff will be great. You spray it on, wipe it off, and then subsequent coats, you just spray it on and hose it off. So that'll give enough protection to the car. And let's go ahead and move to the polishing step. finished a nice wash on this. This paint is looking phenomenal. Hard to believe that's the same car. So, getting ready to put on some McGuire ceramic wax. That looks absolutely phenomenal. So I'm going to go ahead and just blow it dry, and then we'll towel dry it on the inside the garage. But look at that paint. Who knew this tuxedo black was so pretty under that mess? These headlights really fade and get really nasty. So we're going to use a restoration kit. I'm actually pulling these out. So I already pulled this one, which I think is the worst of the two. I had to replace a bulb. There was a marker light bulb that was out, so I replaced that. We're going to go ahead and start sanding this. Let me go grab the kit. So the kit I'm going to be using is a Cerakote ceramic headlight restoration kit. Essentially you sand it, and well, these just come with some wipes, I think. There's some kind of sanding stuff there too, but I'm going to make sure it's nice and smooth. And so there's oxidation remover, and then there is the sanding, which is here. That's step 2. So we're going to take some light sandpaper, we're going to sand it, and then finally we're going to protect it with some ceramic. So you'll just wipe that on. It's really pretty magical when you do it. So anyway, I will put you on a stand and you can watch me do this. If you're interested in getting some, I'll link it in the description. It's on Amazon and it's not very expensive. So I think it's well worth it. It's going to make a huge difference in the way these headlights look. So you might be saying, what was that drill? Well, I have an assortment of sanding discs, and it's the same process. You can either do this by hand or you can get a drill. I just decided to take the easy way out because, well, it takes a lot longer to do it by hand and my arms are tired. So that's what I did. Everything's good. It's ready to go to the next step, which is the ceramic kit. So we're going to go ahead and wipe this down once, and then I'm going to put the ceramic on, and that's where all the magic is. If you want to get some of these, they're on Amazon too. It comes with a little collar for the drill, and it makes it a whole lot easier. So you can hate me, but work smarter, not harder. Ooh. So I'm finished with the headlights. They're just chilling over here, drying, and then we'll put them back in a little bit. Last thing I'm gonna do for me today is I'm gonna go ahead and recoat the windshield wiper arms. They were starting to get a little crusty and faded. So we're gonna use my favorite SEM color coat, and with trim black, that's gonna come out amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and just spray those in. It'll take 2 light coats and they'll be perfect. And that'll be it for me today. And then I'm gonna come back to this tomorrow and work on getting the turbo in, and hopefully that fixes our issue. Love it when parts show up. This is a genuine Ford part, and I'll open it in a second, but I'm gonna show you what I'm replacing. So this lower piece is broken and I don't want to sell the car like that, so I'm gonna just replace this. I already touched up the bumper and all that, so once we replace the rear bumper piece here, we'll be all good there. Let's get it unboxed. It is a genuine Ford part, made in USA. So now all we got to do is get that bumper off and get this swapped over. One big issue on these Focus STs is the exhaust gets really dirty. They're direct injected. It's kind of tucked up under the bumper and it's hard to get to. While we've got the bumper off, I'm going to go ahead and get this cleaned up. First, just do a quick wipe down. These are Grant's towels from Harbor Freight, and they're actually really good for the money. If you need some nice quality microfibers that you're going to throw away, grab a set of these. All right, we're going to try this stuff first. It's Mother's Mag and aluminum polish, and we are going to use some fine steel wool. This is whatever this is, 000. It'll be fine. I wouldn't use it on glass or anything like that, but it's fine for chrome and stuff like that. So we're going to try it. All right, here we go. Prepare to be amazed. All right, I'm not gonna make you watch me put this bumper back on. That was pretty cool, right? So there we go, all fixed. Pretty much I just need a package tray and the trunk floor. Bumper's done. That wasn't too bad. It took me an hour and a half or so. So not terrible, all things considered. Okay, it's time to go ahead and put this on. Cerakote trim coat. This will make this black again. So it comes with its own little pouch. You just tear open the applicator, much like we did with the headlights. And whoo, you can smell this stuff. You can't smell it, but I can. Woo. And you just basically rub it on. Try and get a nice even coat. One of the final things that we need to do is get these wheels that are on the car off of there. They're mismatched, they're carb rashed, and I have 7 wheels and don't have a complete set. So these are a set that were off my son-in-law's Focus, and they're in good shape. They were plasti dipped. I don't want to put somebody in the position of having to clean it later, so I'm going to go ahead and clean it off now. And then I've got I've got an appointment with the lab, so that we're going to take the Focus over and get those tires swapped over to these wheels. So let's get these. They're silver underneath. I think that'll look really good with the Focus. And so I need to get all this plastic up off. I'm going to try a few things, including the pressure washer. You can see around the edges, they're starting to peel already. I've got some stuff called Awesome, and I've got some Goo Gone, and we're gonna hit it with a pressure washer as well, and then I have the old standby gasoline. So I don't know which one's gonna work, but we're gonna try everything. All right, I got the first one pretty good. I'm gonna let it dry a little bit and then spray some more stuff on it. This takes forever, and it's like 38 degrees out, so it's pretty cold, but I'm gonna keep going. All right, well, that was a ton of work for me. I think I spent about 3 hours total. Let's take a look. They look fantastic. So once we got all that plastic dip off, the actual finish underneath is really nice. I did a couple little touch-ups. So today it's Saturday, and I've got an appointment Monday morning with Jason to go get the tires from the Focus swapped over to these. I'm just gonna drive out there with the wheels in the trunk and let him do all that for me. Okay, it's Monday morning. It's time to head over to the lab, but first I wanna do a real quick mod. You've probably seen these ST badges a million times. I make my own, and I think they're really cool. Going to swap these out real quick. These are black outline with red, and I think they'll look much better here. And so we're gonna do the front and rear. I'm gonna do some photos of this car today so we can get it posted on Marketplace. And I'd like it to be looking its best, so we're gonna have the new wheels on and the badges. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's get that glue cleaned up. Okay, so now we just need to pull the adhesive strips. If you want to get a set of these badges, I'll link them in the description. They're not that expensive. I'll make them all here in my little shop, and they look freaking cool. All right, that's all there is to it. Let's do the back real quick. All right, I decided to go ahead and hit this with the polisher just a hair, just to clean up any mess. All right, this goes just like this, and there we are. All done. So now that we've done a complete restoration of the interior and the paint on this car, we're gonna go ahead and dive into the engine issue in the next video. I'm gonna focus on all of the diagnosis and kind of how we get this thing going. And I hope you'll stick around for that. That'll be in the next week. See ya.